G2 Esports finally break their 4-match losing streak by defeating Astralis, and I am joined by Caps with a new hairstyle. Welcome back to the LEC studio. Okay, Caps, I do need to ask because I'm personally very, very curious. Is there any particular story behind the aesthetical change?
Not really so much of a story. It's just like we were losing a lot of games and just felt like something had to change. So I guess the hair was it this time. It also has like some added benefits. I was actually cutting myself, most of it with like a scissor, which obviously helps when you're going on stage playing Gwen, that you're more comfortable around with the scissors. But other than that, I think just like getting some changes around.
Yeah, maybe the change did help. Maybe it was like the whole Saitama buff because you have performed amazingly on Gwen, have won the Kia Player of the Game. Can you tell me more about the mid lane Gwen pick? Because I do realize that you're the only LEC mid laner who has been playing Gwen so far.
Gwen is one of the new champs, and going into like this season, I really want to play Gwen and Viego because new champs are always a lot of fun. Now, obviously, unfortunately, we lost with both of them, so that was like not the best. But getting a win now with Gwen is really nice, and I've been spamming them in solo queue. New champs are just always fun, and they're also usually pretty strong. And I'm just happy that we can finally find success with it, even if it took half the split.
You did kind of semi-joke about the whole scissors and needing a new change with your hairstyle, but did you or the G2 players really feel like, hey, today is the day we bounce back?
I think we've been feeling that the whole week. Going 0-4 is not something we were expecting going into this like whole season or the split. So I think once we went 0-4, we realized that like we really have to step it up because we are like at the risk of missing out on playoffs or missing out on like the higher seeds, which are really strong for playoffs. So we really gave 100%, and I'm really happy with everyone's effort throughout the week. I think we really came together to like try and bounce back.
It does sound like the team morale was quite strong even during the losing streak, but what are some of the specific areas that G2 tried to improve on during the last 2 weeks?
So I think going into the summer split, like the game was very weird. Like there was a lot of new mid lane champions, as I mentioned, but there's also just like a bunch of like flex picks, like a lot of people playing like the Lee Sin, a lot of like ranks and flex going around, and a bunch of other champs like that. So the draft was definitely like something we had to figure out what we want to draft for ourselves, and we were trying out a bunch of all the meta things, and I think now we kind of settled down to something that we really like and something we feel very comfortable with. And it really showed in our practice, and it showed today in our stage game as well. And hopefully we can show up even better tomorrow against Rogue.
And do you feel like some of the LEC matches coming back on the venue will also help the G2 players? Because a lot of G2 players say they feel more natural or more confident playing on stage.
Yeah, for sure. I think going back to stage is nice. It's always a bit weird playing online, and it adds a lot more hype when you actually go to the studio. Sadly, we don't have fans yet, and I think that's like the biggest part of playing on stage, right? Is like for sure the fans, because just hearing people cheer gives you like that kind of boost and energy, especially when it's like the 10,000 people cheering in a stadium. But already now, even if there's no fans, it also adds like a kind of like a hype, because you kind of get in the zone or like in the mood when you go to a car, like you drive to the studio, you sit around watching like the game before, where normally it's just like suddenly we're just playing, it's nothing really changes because we're just at home. So definitely I like the travel, I guess, and like the preparation mentally.
If you had to specifically put it into numbers, just how much of a boost or a hype does playing on stage? Because some players tell me that it doesn't make that much difference. Some players actually say they get more nerves on stage, players like you say, hey, actually, it's a very positive effect.
It's for sure hard to put numbers on it. It's hard to put numbers on it. I think for me, the biggest thing has always been when it's like the huge stadiums, right? But for sure, going back to the studio right now is really nice because it's a stage we're also comfortable with. Like all of our players are veterans at this point, and we have played for many years. So for sure, playing in the studio is something that we enjoy a lot.
And perhaps the stage buff and the momentum will help G2 in the next match.
For sure, yeah.
Because that's my final question. What are your outlook for the next match against Rogue?
I don't think we ever lost a B1 to Rogue, so I don't think it should change right now either. I think we will probably beat them, and we will probably show them that G2 is back.
Love the confidence, and we will look forward to it. Thank you so much for the interview once again, Caps, and
Thank you.
best of luck with the rest of the LEC.